Alice, we've been talking a lot about literal magic tonight, right? Like the magic you write about. But we were talking about this before we went on the show, and I think you've done something really truly magical in your own life with the founding of the Hoffman Cancer Center. Can you
Thank
talk a little
you.
bit about that? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that
Sure.
and and kind of what your experience was leading up to that and what made you bring that into the world?
Yeah, well, I had breast cancer, I think about 25 years ago. I'm kind of blocking it out exactly when. I think it was
Yeah.
1998. Actually, it was just when the movie Practical Magic was being made, so that I was supposed to
Oh
come,
my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
couldn't go because I was otherwise engaged. But
Oh,
in the hospital that I went to, which is a great hospital, it's a Harvard teaching hospital, but they didn't have a breast center. So you just kind of sat there with everybody else while you're waiting for your radiation. You're sitting next to some kid
yeah.
who, broke his arm playing baseball. It was just like it
Oh,
was not the most comfortable thing. And when I was done with my treatment, I was so grateful. I asked my friends there who were doctors, what could I do? And they said, do something local. And so we created together, working together, the center. And for I think the past 20 years, it might be 25 years, we've had a writers event every year and have raised quite a lot of money. And writers have been so generous and have given of their time so amazingly. So it's been a great experience to be involved with it.
well, that's awesome. Count us in the future if you ever need us.
Thank you so
That's a
much.
Yeah,
promise that
we're
Thank
in.
you.
that means something to all of us too.
Thank you.
Alice, we were also talking a little bit earlier about the decision about whether or not to share that experience and how it's difficult. It's a difficult choice. How much of yourself do you share when you're going through something like that? But ultimately, you wrote about your experience in memoir form, and you have shared
Yeah.
it now very broadly. What brought you to that point where you felt like you were ready to do that?
Well, I really didn't tell many people. We were talking about that before. And then I think like after a year after my treatment, I wrote an article in the New York Times about it. And some of my family members found out about it that way. And then I wrote a book called Survival Lessons, just a very small book, which I felt like was the book that I wish someone could have given to me, when I was first diagnosed. Because mostly I just really wanted to talk to survivors and to know that, it was possible to survive. And so, I feel like, I'm kind of a private person. For the first like 20 or so years when I was a writer, I never even told anyone I was a writer, never. And,
Wow.
I just feel actually being involved with the center has made it easier for me to talk about certain things and certainly to talk about cancer. But growing up, especially growing up for me, you knew that was something you just didn't talk about. So it was partially
Yeah.
my being private and not wanting to have it interfere with my work. But I think it was partially the way I had grown up was that, you just don't talk about these things.